More than just a car, the Nissan 370z is a cultural icon. Its roots can be traced all the way back to the original 1970 240Z, a hatchback that revolutionized the modern sports car and cemented Nissan as a global innovator. A lot has happened in the motoring world since 1970. Today, people aren't exactly busting down the doors for the latest V6-powered front-engine rear-wheel drive sports car, and the sales numbers show it. We live in a world dominated with the super efficient or the super fast. When the two can exist together, like in the Tesla Model S P85D, all the better. So it's a bit of a surprise that a car like the 370Z continues to even exist. You could say it falls into the not a girl, not yet a woman conundrum that Britney Spears sang about. It's not a Subaru BRZ, but it's not a Dodge Challenger Hellcat either. Keeping all of that in mind, today we're taking a look at the flagship Z, the 2016 370Z Nismo. Under the hood is a 3.7-liter V6. It pumps out 350 horsepower and 276 pound-feet of torque. Because this is the Nismo edition, that's 18 more horses over the standard 370Z, thanks in part to the special Nismo exhaust system. Fuel economy is what you might expect, with an EPA rating of up to 26 on the freeway, 18 around town. Granted, my MPGs were way lower, but I'm not the EPA and I don't drive like it. Even though it is a sports car, occasionally you might need to bring stuff with you. So they've provided a decent-sized trunk. Now, you're not going to fit more than a couple duffels in there, maybe a small golf bag. Right now I have a large camera case, a camera slider, and a light stand. That's about it. And it is full. But that's okay. Remember, sports car. Okay, let's talk interior. This one is magnificent. They've really thought through everything that somebody would want in a tuner edition of a vehicle, and they put it in. Extra gauges? Check. Little indicator where the top of the steering wheel is? Check. Leather trim seats with an Alcantara inset? Check. Nismo badging? Check, check, check. Ooh, Recaro seats. Yeah, that's what we've got. Overall, this is a cockpit that every other sports car wants to look like. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Push button start. Ooh, that sounds good. Okay, so this has the traditional Nismo look about it. It has the tilt wheel that brings the whole gauge cluster with you. Nissan kind of puts that on everything, even like their basic Murano, which is kind of interesting. I wish it would telescope though, because I want the wheel closer to me and I want my seat further back, but that's a personal thing that may not apply to everybody. The stick shift is a 6-speed short shift, and it has a magical ability to rev match on the downshifts. We'll show you that later. It's really cool. The stereo comes with a large screen here. It is a touch screen. It's in customized channels. It does all your standard stuff, but you don't buy this car for that. It's just a nice thing to have if you're already spending the money on a car like this to have the extra stuff, but that's not why you buy this car. Like a proper sports car, the center gauge cluster is the tachometer. That's what I want to see, and it's right there. Below it, it shows what gear I am in, as well as the mode of the transmission. There's an S mode and a standard mode. S mode will do the rev match downshifts. Standard mode will not. I think we've admired the interior of this car quite enough. Let's take it out on the street and see what it can really do. Let's go ahead and punch it. Woohoo! Woo! Oh yeah, that is what this car is all about. Now, when I'm downshifting, you hear that blipping? That's not my foot. I'm not heel toeing. The car heel toes for me. They call it synchro rev matching, and it's pretty clever. Now, if it gets annoying, like, you know, sounding like a boy racer going to go get the milk at the store, you can always disable it by turning off S mode. At that point, I'm on my own for blipping those downshifts. I love the feel of this gear shift. It's very positive and it's a short throw, which is excellent. It really has just a perfect feel about it. And honestly, everything in this car should be about as good as this car is going to get because they've had so many years to massage this car. Think about it. This car came out way back in 2009. That's a lifetime for a sports car. Now, when I first saw the Nismo edition of this car, when it came out a couple years ago, I was really ecstatic for it. I thought it was just an amazing car. But now, I mean, the FRS is out, the new Miata is out. What they've done is instead of just adding more power to the equation, they've made the cars lighter. They don't have as much power, but they're lighter, and that makes for a pure driving experience, the kind of experience that I actually have been longing for. Where the 370Z, it's more of a punch in the face. The original 240Z was light, quick, and affordable. With a price tag of just under $47,000, this 2016 Nismo Z is rather expensive and relatively large. Of course, it does come with wonderful Recaro buckets, brakes for days, and styling that simply drives me crazy, so it's not without its charms. Punch It and the 370Z Nismo delivers a throaty burble that is unmistakable. The automated rev matching is a neat trick too. Power comes on quick and ramps nicely all the way to redline, just like you would expect from a race-inspired V6. And if you really want to go crazy, you can disable traction control with the push of a button. Rumors keep swirling that a 7th generation Z will take the car back to its more affordable roots. And personally, that's a car that would interest me more than this one. It's not because the 2016 370Z Nismo is a bad car. Far from it. It's an amazing piece of machinery and is clearly the best version of the 370Z ever. But is that enough in today's market? So the 370Z Nismo Edition, it's really expensive for a car that's really just not for me. I can imagine somebody younger, well-to-do might really like this thing, but there's so many great cars on the market now that can be had for so much less. I mean, FRS, the new Miata, there's just so many really great cars that don't just add more muscle to the equation, they add lightness. And of course, with lightness, you get better everything. This car, it has to muscle through its weight, and that's no fun. So I give them points for trying, but this isn't a car that I can see myself really ever owning. I'm Ryan Dalvin for Driving Sports TV. Thanks for watching. We'll have another original video next Friday at drivingsports.com.